We're going to start off with a little bit of ankle mobility today. So we're going to work on our dorsiflexion, and we're going to run through just a basic ankle mob. I'm going to just use a stick just to show you exactly what I want you to do. So foot flat, pointing forward, you're on one knee, and then we're going to drive our knee over our toes. But I want our knee to go almost slightly out, close to your pinky toe. So I'm going to use this stick as a gauge. I'm going to put it right by the pinky toe. And then you're going to drive your foot forward or drive your knee forward, and don't let your heel come up off the ground. So this is what I want to see here. I don't want to see knee coming in towards the big toe. Okay, just like that. If you're feeling a pinch in the front of your ankle, you'll have to do a banded ankle mob, and I'll link that video underneath in the overview or in the breakdown. But if you don't have that pinch, this should work perfect. We're going to do 10 on each side. All right, so 10 on each side. A couple of things you might have saw me do is I put my hand on top. You can do this as well. And you can almost add a little pressure just to get a little bit more range of motion. And my right side felt a little tighter. It was a little bit more difficult for me to go straight or to the outside, so I use the stick just for a little bit of feedback. All right, now we're gonna go into the lizard pose. This is the first thing I'm doing in the morning, so I'm gonna start with the regressed version. It's one leg out in front, one knee back, and then both hands on the ground. The normal version is forearms on the ground. Again, I'm feeling a little tight right now, so I'm gonna go hands down, and if I'm feeling a little bit looser, I'll go down to my forearms. We're gonna hold this for 1 minute on each side. So I'll see you guys in 2 minutes. All right, 1 minute on each side, lizard pose. I started up on my hands, and then I was feeling a little bit looser, so I went down onto my forearm. So find what works best for you. And now we're gonna go into the 90-90 with hip extension. We're gonna start with both legs out in front, feet a little bit wider than hips and shoulder width. We're gonna drop down into a 90-90 position, just like this. And then from here, we're going to push down with this leg and drive our hip forward, just like this, and squeeze the glutes at the top. You'll return back to the 90-90 position. We'll flip back to center, and then we'll go over to the other side, hip extension. We'll do 5 on each side. So that's 90-90 with hip extension. Sometimes, or a lot of people, they can't do this movement and stay upright. So if that's the case, you can always put your hands on the ground behind you, and then you can use your hands for support. So let's say it's a little bit difficult for you to keep your body upright. Get to this position. You can always just use your hands to guide you. And then if that's still too difficult, we can just put our hands behind us and just run through the 90-90. And the last stretch we're gonna do is a standing T-spine extension. So I'm gonna move the camera and then we'll get started. Last stretch is a standing T-spine extension. We're gonna be about a little bit more than an arm's length away from the wall. We're gonna drive our hips back, drop our chest to the ground. So a little bit more than arm's width away. Hands on, drive your hip back, and then chest to the ground. You can keep your knees a little bit soft here just to take some of the tension off the hamstrings. But let's do 10 reps here. All right, that is T-spine extension. That was our last stretch for the sequence for this weekly routine. But as always, we have to run through a stability exercise. I'm gonna move the camera and let's run through that right now. For a stability exercise, we're gonna run through a side plank with a clamshell. So we'll be working our core from the side, also our shoulder stability, but then we're going to really concentrate right on that side of the hip. So we'll get into a side plank position. Make sure the elbow is underneath the shoulder. And then we're going to bend our knees and prop ourselves up into a side plank. So from here, we're propped up, and then we're going to keep our feet together, but then we're going to open up our knees. Try not to lean back as we're doing it. Almost think like there's a stick going right through your hip, and it's going to stay there. Don't let it rock back and forth. So from here, 10 reps on each side. All right, glutes are burning. Well, that is it.